Hey there, it's Jody. Last December, I shared 5 adult coloring books with a total of 8 coloring pages that I wanted to complete during winter. And here's the complete pages. Seasons by Hanna Karlzon. Luminous antlers. I'm still learning how to color candles, but this was such a delight to color. And if you recall, I wanted to use teal and lavenders or kind of like purple colors, and I think this came out all right. I actually didn't want the mousse to look like a traditional mousse. I wanted the mousse to look a little special, so I went with a little bit of a gold tone here. And I really enjoyed using the Evazar London pencils for this page. On to the next book, Magical Season by Lenka Filonenko, Holiday Harmony. This was the first time I colored snow, and I think it came out all right. I used very thin pencils for the tiny details, then I also used some Posca paint, and the rest of it was the free Prismacolor pencils I shared in another video. The little bluebirds were so much fun to color, and I wanted each of them to kind of look a little different. But I also didn't want the colors to be too traditional on what they were wearing with their little outfits. Johanna's Christmas by Johanna Basford. I challenged myself with 2 coloring pages in this book. The first page is what I'm going to call Frosty Chimes. This has to be my favorite of the 2 completed pages. I used Castle Arts coloring pencils for this one. The other page in this book, it's a bird flying with presents. I used Arteza metallic pencils for this one. I did have some issues burnishing it, so I took a white pencil from the Prisma pencils to burnish as well. I also had a difficult time leaving this background blank. I don't know why, but maybe one day I'll try to revisit it and make a background for it. Victoriana by Ellie Marks. Victorian Eve. I challenged myself with 2 pages in this book, but I only ended up coloring 1. This page was such a delight to color. It kind of reminds me of the Return to Avonlea television series that I adored when I was growing up. Coloring pencils I used was Prismacolor. For this page, I actually used the Sarah Renee Clark coloring cube, which I'll have to share in another video, but I found that I was able to find cozy kind of colors for this, and I can't say enough kind things about that coloring cube. But here, I actually wanted to make the house look like it was lit up, so I ended up making the sky in the background dark, and then I used some solvent on there. I ended up using the same method I used for the snow scene with the 3 birds, and that knowledge really did help me out. And I did use a little bit of the white Posca paint pen here as well, little polka dots and stuff. And I think it came out all right. I really like this scene. And oh, I love the turquoise and the cute little kid with her little sleigh, like she just got back from having a great time. So yes, I can't say enough things about this book. I love Victoriana by Ellie Marks. And the last coloring book is Escape to Christmas Past by Good Wives and Warriors. I challenged myself with 2 pages in this book. There's some beautiful illustrations in this book, so it was very difficult to flip through and then go, oh, I want to color this too. I had to focus that I had this cozy winter challenge, or I would have had so many work in progresses in this book. So here is one of the completed pages, which I call Ember Elegance. I wanted to go with a Victorian color palette that was cozy, so I searched online for Victorian fireplaces, and I found some neat inspiration online. The page was colored with Polychromos coloring pencils, as I figured that they do real well in those tiny little areas on this page. I also used solvent for the back wall here because, I don't know about you, but having a back space like that doesn't blend very nice. And I'm actually still learning how to use Polychromos pencils, so it looked really bad with a whole bunch of streaks and lines. So I think the solvent here worked pretty well. And then here is the coloring page I am regretting to share online. This is kind of difficult. Okay, this is what I'm going to call Unforgiving Flames. This has to be the worst coloring pages I did, and you could see the chaos in it. There is a reason for this. It's a great example of how you feel when you travel, right? Because you're not organized. And so what I ended up doing is I didn't select a color palette. And since I was traveling, I grabbed an entire Prisma Scholar pencil set. And as I started noticing that the color palette was looking really bad, I went over it with purple. I don't know why that was just like, well, I love purple, so I'm going to put that in the rays of the candles. And then I went back in and I tried to do some solvent and I realized that it just wasn't going to budge because I had burnished the page with multiple layers and I changed colors multiple times. But it gave me a good example about how important that color palette is. Whenever you have like 6 to even 12 colors for a coloring page, it kind of unifies everything and it causes less stress. So as mentioned, that was a very difficult share, but I had to. So there you have it, the completed pages in the Cozy Winter Challenge. I have more types of challenges I'll be trying this year, so don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.